Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hope you had an amazing weekend. There's still more people rolling in here, and then we'll get started. Hey, Steve, how are you?
I am doing better, thank you.
Were you sick?
I had bronchitis and a dose of pneumonia.
Dude, seriously? Oh my gosh.
Luckily, because I know my body and I knew something was happening, so I went to the doctor last week, and luckily it was just starting off, so they were able to give me enough antibiotics, and I'm on steroids now. So, but yeah, I'm feeling much better.
So I'm sure they COVID tested you because there is bronchitis going around along with also COVID's going around, as you know.
Yeah,
so.
they tested for MRSA and for COVID. I don't have either one of those.
Wow. Crazy.
So I'm good to 48 hours.
Well, the steroids will really help you come alive. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. They make you really hungry too.
Well, just eat away, my friend.
No.
Got to watch that girly figure, don't you?
I do. I restocked apples, peaches. I don't do bananas, but I do apples and peaches. So that's why I've stocked up on. I've been eating.
Nice job. All right. Well, good. I hope everybody else is feeling all right. Doing good. We're getting more people on here now. All right, guys. Well, I'm not going to bring it up, but I did. We are up on our leads coming in. So it's not like the leads are dying down. We're up over last quarter of the leads actually flowing into the hopper. Appointments are being set at a pretty good clip. The thing that we're not seeing though is closings resulting. We're not seeing under contract. So that's something I want to open up for discussion today, just to kind of see what the pulse is on what you guys are experiencing out there. And then maybe there's some ways we can help you to improve on those conversions. And truly, I mean, people can say there's some limiting beliefs that some people might have about certain leads and things like that. In general, we have our leads are up over last quarter. And so I think that there's more opportunities stewing out there, and I just don't want you guys to miss an opportunity, nor do I want you to, not be able to convert. So those are some things I want to open up the can today on a little bit towards the end of the conversation. In general, so what are you guys seeing out there in the market? What's your feelings? And then I'm going to go through the data, and then we're going to go back to your feelings again. Okay. So tell me, what are you guys experiencing out there? What is your thought about the market? This is not a trick question.
Well, hi. I showed a house in Lakeside maybe like a week ago, and the listing agent texted me, and he's telling me, "Oh, we can really make a deal here. Like if they want it, like please bring them back, and send an offer, and we can work with them. So help us out here." And I think that's a little bit different than.
Yeah, I'm seeing that too. I'm definitely seeing agents reaching out to me saying, "Hey, you showed a lot of properties in the zip code before. We really want, what buyers do you have?" I mean, they're legit reaching out, trying to find people. What else are you guys seeing? I mean, if somebody else has a story like that to share, that's what I want to hear. Stuff like that.
Yeah. To add on to that, it does seem like listing agents are being a little more realistic. They would kind of push back at first when we first had the correction starting, and now it seems they kind of know that they're going to have to keep reaching out to us or get their clients to agree to maybe a little bit of a lower price in order to move the home.
Yep. Okay. So you're seeing a little more reality setting in for people, for agents. So do you think maybe that's a reflection of also their sellers are already starting to get it more now, or what do you guys think?
I hope so.
So remember just a couple months ago, everybody was like, "Oh, I'm going to wait. The market's crashing." Are we still hearing those kind of things?
I am seeing a little bit of people willing to wait. I think they're probably anticipating the market, and they're kind of looking, but they're not really ready to make a move yet.
And Melissa, you're on every one of my scripts and role plays, and I hope to goodness you're using the scripts on them to help them to understand that that's not going to happen. They need to buy now.
Yeah.
Right. right? So, some of you that are on this call have never lived through what's called a normal market. Steve, I think you have. You've been in the business a while. Who else are some older timers on here with me? Who else do we have on here that's an old timer?
I'm an old timer, but I haven't been in the business long.
Oh, you are not. You're as young. I would check your ID if you tried to buy liquor from me.
No.
I'm old. I'm old.
And Gary
I've been
does
through it.
not count.
Gary does not count.
He does count. I'm just kidding.
I also had a listing agent reach out to me. I did meet her at that big party. And she did call me yesterday and said, hey, because I texted her and I said, hey, I have a client looking for this. And she called me back yesterday and she said, I'm about to go on a listing appointment tomorrow. And can you dangle this carrot? And I was like, I absolutely will dangle that carrot.
Okay. Yep.
So-
See, I got an email from an agent saying I have a listing coming up on such and such area. I also had one reach out, say that I have a buyer actually looking for stuff. So I'm seeing that too. I'm seeing some of that, like buyers looking for specific properties, right? So we still have some inventory issues. Would you guys agree?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. And we've got a buyer mindset that is maybe shifting. A seller's mindset may be shifting to where it needs to be. And we've got some agents that might be getting on board with what's the reality of the new market, right? So back to the old timer thing. I'm not going to let Gary and Steve off the hook here. So the last 2 years, and you guys have probably read this on Facebook or Instagram or somewhere, the last 2 years, you guys, if anybody is on the team, on our team in the last 2 years that joined 2 years ago, you have no clue what a normal market's like because haven't been in the business that long. I'm not saying you're a bad agent because of it. I'm just saying reality's hitting you in the face right now too, right? This is legit more of a normal. It is still a little odd though. And maybe you guys, Steve and you, Gary, can agree. We have a low inventory and we have buyers acting like we've got like 8 months of inventory. I mean, it's just a kind of a strange little space we're in right now. What do you guys think?
I agree too. I mean, I hated the last 2 years because of how crazy it was in the last year, especially how sellers and listing agents, the arrogance, all of that stuff. It's just terrible, but it's not quite like a regular market. I don't even know. I mean, I started in 2001. The market's been all over the place. The crash was pretty bad, but I feel like 2015, 16, 17, maybe 18 was maybe normal, kind of. I don't know what,
Well,
whatever
I've been
you
in
consider
since
normal.
I need to look 93 or 1994. So yes, I am definitely old.
Yeah, I wasn't in that. I started 2001, so not that far back.
You weren't even born yet. So
I would agree.
Yeah, right.
Weren't
Tina?
you just 21 then, Tina?
what was that?
You were just 21 when you came in?
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. Steve, were you going to talk?
No, this is Rich. So I was going
Okay.
to say, I totally agree with you guys that, I mean, we're starting to get to somewhat of a normalized market. Obviously, we are super low on inventory. However, what a lot of the newer agents need to realize when they hear a lot of the buyers saying, oh, the rates are so high, blah, 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 that's where I feel that we're starting to normalize again. We're going back to those rates that we were accustomed to, like when you said 2 years ago, when the agents, the new ones came in, that was crazy. That was an all-time record. Finding anything in the 2s and the 3s, that was absolutely insane. So now we're normalizing back into the 4s and into the 6s. That's something that people need to really let other buyers know that, hey, this is actually normalizing in a market right now. This is where things start to cool off from all the people that couldn't qualify. Now the real buyers are able to qualify,
So let me ask you, Rich, what's the best way for the agents to demonstrate that without sounding like sales pitch?
That's a really good question. So
Yeah.
what I would obviously do is what Gary was saying is go back and pull right before this all happened, pull those numbers, show them stats, basically do what you're really good at doing and bring a presentation as far as saying, hey, look, this is where the numbers were right before all of this hit. And here was the normalcy of this. And then go into that to let them know that it's not crazy, because everyone got so accustomed to everything being so low that really it's turned a lot of people off now that rates are starting to normalize and balance back out, you know? And also another thing is we need to educate the buyers and let the buyers know that when rates go up, home prices tend to go down. And so it does balance out. Sometimes it balances out even for the better for a buyer, you know, in some cases. So that's where it's super important for them to sit down and talk to whoever the lending institution is that they have.
So that's great. So we have some, if you guys go into KCM, I brought that, I'm not bringing it up today, but there are a lot of, you know, social media posts that demonstrate exactly about the interest rates and how things are, you know, over time, that they're more normal. And I would send those to your people. I would show them that data. I would print it off. I would do whatever you have to do, because they don't want to listen to you. They want to see the facts, right? Because they're hearing all kinds of things out there. So today I'm going to take you into a little bit of the facts. I'm going to go into Altos reports again, kind of walk you through. Altos reports are getting me listings, guys. And I know you're not working listings, but it's also going to get your buyers either off the fence or get them into reality. And I'll show you how I do that. Okay. All right. So the market updates, months of inventory. I did San Diego County and Riverside since we're starting to do a lot more business in Riverside. So right now we have active as of last night, single family homes. We have 2,092 single family homes in San Diego County active. We have 1,192 condos and townhomes active. That means that it equates to 1.89 months of inventory in San Diego for the single family homes and 1.5 months of inventory for condos and townhomes. A normal buyer's market, guys, is 6 months of inventory. We are nowhere near that right now, right? Now we're better than we were just at the beginning of the year, 2 weeks of inventory. That was insane, right? And then things started shifting and we're starting to see a drip up, but the homes are still selling, right? Riverside County, we're seeing a little more of a glut of inventory coming on. We've got 5,061 single family homes on the market right now. We've got 516 condos. Those seem to be a hot ticket item out there, or they're just not listing as many, or there aren't as many built, or whatever that might be. But we have 516 condos on the market. So that equates to 2.42 months of inventory for Riverside County in the single family homes. If you are not finding homes here for people and they're willing to go there, there's some opportunities out there. 2.42 months of inventory over 1.89 is a lot of pressure off the buyers out there, because they have a lot more choices, right? There's a difference in there. There's a big difference between 5,000 homes and 2,000 homes. Wouldn't you agree? So 1.6 months of inventory in Riverside County for condos and townhomes. So almost equal with San Diego, a little bit more. And then the single family homes definitely ticking up there in Riverside. You Riverside agents that work out there, what's the vibe? Does it match up with what I'm talking about here? It's a little more sleepy. Yeah, buyers, are the buyers not there? What's kind of the vibe out there? Anybody? Riverside area?
I know I've seen quite a few open houses on the weekends over in Riverside County.
Yeah, you've got 5,000 homes on the market. That's a record number. I've only seen like 3,000 to 4,000 for a long time, period, right? Like even in San Diego, and like it got down to like 1,000 at one point. Like it's crazy. So they're begging people to buy these homes out there. Okay. Plus you got a lot of pent up new construction, right? Out that way. Are we seeing new construction out there? Yes, there's a ton of new construction in Riverside County. They're in for a hurt. They're going to start giving away stuff. They probably already are. Are you seeing builder incentives happening right now?
Yes, there are building incentives going on big time up in Riverside County, unlike here in San Diego. But also right now it is super hot out in Riverside in the desert areas. And nobody wants to go look at houses at 115-degree temperatures. And they're like, oh, we're not moving out here. It's way too hot. So that's what you always experience this time of year in Riverside County, than my experience. Nobody wants to go there. That's why you have 5,000 houses on market.
Yeah. So when it's cooler, they go by there because they don't realize that it's going to be hotter eventually.
Right.
That's interesting. Well, you can certainly get a much bigger home out there for the price too. So there's some families that would be willing to move there. I personally would not move there because, you know, it's like one way in, one way out. It's like, you know, the freeways, the taxes, just the whole thing about it. But again, you know, people need houses. So it just opens up a little more opportunity for those folks. All right. Good stuff. Anybody have any questions about this? How I get my data? I get it from the MLS. The way I figure out the months of inventory is I take the last 3 months of homes that sold, divide it by 3 and get my average. Then I divide it into the actives and I find out what my count is for months of inventory. Okay. So that's how I find that. All right. So we're going to go into this data right here. These are the Altos reports. I speak on them a lot. There's, you know, in their website, there's a lot of great training videos to teach you how to use these. But I just want to point out a few things. Now, these are homes, single family homes in San Diego County. This is accurate as of right now because it's on the web, so it updates for me. This week, the median price is at 999,000 with a market action index of a 57. Who does not know what the market action index means? Anybody? Who does not know?
I do not know.
Thank you for that, Kristen.
You're welcome.
Okay, because I want a reason to tell you.
Okay.
All right. So when I'm sitting with a seller or even a buyer, I will talk with them about this because this shows that this dark gray band, you see how it says last month, and then it says the blue band says today. That means today. That means what's happening in the market today. I call it the gas pedal of buyers. I call it the buyer pressure. These are the actual buyers that are in the market, the demand of buyers that are in the market. Okay, so right now, when I explain it, I say that today we're at an action index of what's called number 57. And as you can see, it goes to 100. We're still in a seller's market. Once we get to 30 and below, we start to see a buyer's market. Now, what we compare it to, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, is what was the demand last month this time? And it looks like it's, I mean, just slightly down by two tick marks down. It was 59 last month. It's 57 today. So we're heading in a cooling off overall, but it's not very much. The other thing I look at is over here on the right, where it's the median list price, it says $999. As you can see, the graph shows overall it's come down, right? So in July, we were at $1,049,000. In June of this year, we were at $1,099,000. So it was pretty flat from May out 1.1, I'm sorry, to $1,099,000. Now we're dropped to $999,000. So you can show them how it's starting to decelerate. And I'll talk about that more in a moment. So here's the other thing we look at, and this is how I get sellers to price their home properly with all this information. Of course, if we see a lot less buyers in the market, we need to be aggressive on our price. If we see the median list price sliding down, we need to see where we're at. The other great one is the median price of new listings. Guys, this number right here indicates the new listings coming on the market are either more or less than what's already there. So the median list price for San Diego County is $999. The new listings coming on the market, which will be your sales in the next 30 to 60 days, are at $924.5. So is the market going up or down overall in San Diego County as far as pricing?
Down.
Down a little bit, down.
We're down, right? About what, 75 grand almost, right? So the other thing I take them to is obviously I do look at average days on the market that it's gone up to, like, we're on about 60-day average days on the market in San Diego County. The median days on the market is at 42 days on the market. Okay, so that also has ticked up, not a lot, but from 35 at the end of last week to 42 right now. And then I take them through, okay, so the homes that are listed that created our median list price, they're experiencing more of a price correction. So that means they're getting decreased pricing, right? Like you send your form, they decrease the price and you're like, new Improved price. Have you guys seen that on the MLS where the people are like reducing the prices? And
Yeah,
you're-
I've seen lots of that.
yeah. So that's what creates this number here at 39%. Now I want to tell you that 30% is the national average. So I always let them know that because I have to give them some kind of a baseline to go off of. So our national average is at 30%. And right now, San Diego County is at 39%. I don't look at this as a county-wide perspective unless I have a client that's very detail focused. I usually go right to their zip code. So I'm going to show you a couple examples of the zip code. All right, only 2% had an increase in price, right? I don't really even go over that unless it's an astronomical number, which this was opposite last year. 39% was probably where the increase is. 2% was where the decrease was. Does that make sense? All right, so now we've got an inventory that it went up in August at 3,332 and it's now back down. It's down at 3,142 homes right at this moment, okay? And that does include active under, the under contract where they're waiting for like, people put them in that space for a moment when they're waiting for like the earnest deposit to come in. I did not use that number in my data yesterday. I just used strictly active. Any questions on this part right here? All right, well, this shows you how crazy things are overall. This is for every price home, every size of home in San Diego County. When I break it down into what's called market segments, you can see that it breaks it down. I'm going to go down here to the bottom into 4 categories in square footage. Starting at the red line would be around 1,386 square foot homes. At an average lot size of 6,500 to 8,000, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 124 hit the market and 183 absorbed. Days on the market, 35. I'm not sure. There was some lingering on the market here. That's why there's more. So they're probably selling pretty quickly. And then it just goes up from there to 3,523 square feet for the dark blue line. Average bedrooms are 4 bedrooms. Doesn't necessarily, all of them won't have 4 bedrooms, but this is the average. So what this tells us is the larger, higher priced homes are really taking a hit. Do you guys see that? That blue line, how it goes, whee, like a roller coaster, right? Looks like a total roller coaster ride out here. But the smaller homes, 2,200 square feet down, are not experiencing as much volatility in pricing. They have some around the 2,200 square foot mark, a little over 1.2 million. We saw a high mark this year that was in April. April was a big month for price increases for sure. April at about 1.4 million. And now as we go through the days to right now, we're coming in at 1.3 million. I will show that to a seller. I will not do it live, but I will print off, like I'll take screenshots. If you see me, I'll do, whatever computer you use it, I'll do a screenshot with this box that's up and I'll show where the height of the market was this year. And then I'll take a screenshot of what the market is right now for all the different price segments. And that really helps me to help them to price it according to what the trends are based on what I see up here. So that's a 75K swing. And what I'm seeing now, that was overall, that's all sizes of homes, right? So overall, that's what we're seeing. But then when you break it down into square footages, say I'm meeting with somebody that is at 2,200 square feet, I'm going to talk about this teal line right here. And I'm going to say, well, in April, we were at, 1.4 million on our median price, but now we're at 1.3. I understand that your neighbor sold for 1.45 in April or closed in May. The other thing then, guys, when you pull comps for your buyers or your sellers, you've got to look at when that home was listed, right? When it went into contract, and it could have closed in August. It could have gone into contract in early July, or it could have gone into contract in June and closed in August. It's still a good comp, but you got to take that into consideration when you're pricing, because the prices were different then, right? So in June, just for example, June 3rd, okay, let's just go to June 10th. That's more middle of the month. We were at 1.4 million still at that point in the teal, and now we're at the 1.3. So when you see something that actually cut off and sold for 1.45 or whatever in June, but didn't close till August. Is that really a solid comp? Is that the whole picture? From what I just said, are you guys still tracking with me on this?
No, I don't think it is.
It isn't
Can we,
because
print- is this printable?
what was that?
Is this printable from Tycor?
Yes, I'll show you that in a moment. Yeah, you can
Okay,
print one
sorry.
page, you can print the report if you like. This has a lot more features, but these are the main ones I use. So
Yeah, the lines are perfect because I have a lot of people who are on a smaller scale looking for homes, and those are the ones that are like, we want to wait, it's going to drop, I'm going to wait till the end of the year.
it's not doing anything but go up. Let me show you the red
Yeah.
line in a moment, okay? So
Okay.
let me just stay on this teal line for a second and I'll show you what's happening.
Okay.
So you do have to look at also the comps in the neighborhood, right? You got it when you go on and you search, you do the half mile round or what mile, whatever Gary's teaching you guys. I do a half mile, 200 square feet smaller, 200 square feet larger. I get perspective, but I'm now looking at closing dates. I'm looking at when they went under contract. Because if I do have an August or a September 1st closing, I'm going to look at when that stinker went into contract because it was probably at a higher price in most cases, right? Now, if the market's going up for you in that certain square footage range, then we need to look at, okay, well, that one sold for that, but the market's gone up 100,000 cents. It makes sense to write an offer higher, right? Or it makes sense to list it a little higher. You got to look at the whole picture. In this market, it is so volatile. I'm not even going back more than 2 months when I'm looking at stuff. I'm going back 2 months. And again, these reports allow you to go crazy. There's ways that you can actually make this report only show like certain period of time. You can just grab it, drag it. Let's see. See this right here, what I'm doing? I just grabbed it and dragged it to January. And just now you can look at different perspectives, right? You can look at different markets, different time periods. So, so yeah, any questions on this overall and what's happening in San Diego County and how to read the stinky report that I love so much? I love this report.
When it says absorbed, it means they were sold.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yep. No, it's a good question. Again, there's some great videos that will even teach you more than what I am even showing you today, but I don't think for this call it's that necessary. Let's take a quick peek at condos in San Diego County and see where they're at. So, and then I'm going to go back to that red line. So we've got median list price at 684, 245, and our new median price coming on is 599. You think condos are taking a beating overall? Yeah, by about 84 grand, right? 85 grand down. Woo. So it's the larger ones that are dragging us down. Large means 1,650 square feet in this case. You see the blue line, how it's taking a dive. But you see all the other lines are actually going up. So let's take a look at May or April 20, May. Gosh, it's so hard to move this. Let's just look at May 6th. We've got 789, 588, and 420 for these last three lines. And now, oh, it looks like it did go down. 779, 613, and 450. But we did have a nice little bump up right here. And then it started to decline, not as sharply as a larger condo, right? So again, you still have to look at the neighborhood, the community, the condo complex, see what's going on in there because those numbers could change. I would not use this as the total word. This is to show you trends on where you might need to target on what's going on. And then if your condo complex is hot and it's actually up by 50 to 100,000, go with that. That's what you want to look at. And then you can lead your buyers to make an informed decision on what to do next, right? Again, you can also show them these graphs and show them there's no crash. It's pretty steady eddy, right? It's fluctuating up and down, not at drastic points, except for when you get up into the larger, more expensive properties, we're starting to see more of a deceleration. Okay. Any questions?
No.
Okay. Let me go take you down to this red line here on homes in San Diego County. So it looks like flat, but it does climb up just a little bit. Let's look at April 1, the bottom line, 674. And where are we right now? We're at 699. So the pricing is actually creeping up for anything that's at around 1,300 to 1,800 square feet. Same with the gold line. May 6th was 899 and now we're at 8. Oh, it's flush. It's $899 and $899 for the 1,800 square footers. Again, look at the community, look at the comps, see when they pinned it, see when they closed, and you can make better decisions. You're also going to be comparing amenities. You're going to be comparing upgrades, right? So if something is completely 2022 remodeled, and then you've got another one that hasn't been remodeled in 25 years, you got to look at that fluctuation in pricing as well. Okay. But you should be able to find at least some kind of an area where you need to be targeting. All right. Well, I'm going to go back to I think I'm going to go back to the slides here. See if I can mess this up. Let's see. Whoopsie. I'm going to stop my share for a second and go back. All right. Let's see what we've got. Okay. I lost my slides. Hang on, guys. Let me find them again. They're off of my board here. Hang in there. All right, you guys, let's talk a little bit. Any questions on that? We're going to take a quick peek at Riverside. I'm not going to go over the form, but I'm going to just show you what's happening in Riverside.
Do you typically like screenshot the Altos report and then like email it to like a client?
Okay, let me show you what you can do there. I forgot to show you that part.
Yes, please.
All right. Yeah. Remind me, guys, I'm old. All right. So let me get you guys out of the way here. Top corner, do you see this? Share it.
Yes.
You can do a full report, and I usually just take a single report PDF with me in color to my listing appointments of just this data here. What you could do also is if you want to do any other specific reports, you see average days on the market for the different sizes of homes. You see what the inventory is. Okay. You can do all that fancy stuff, but I don't get too caught up in that unless it's a report you really need to show them, because you're basically walking them through all of that right here in the top right corner anyway, right? So you can share it, you can email it, you can Facebook it, you can LinkedIn it, you can Twitter it, you can print. I just print a single form and I take off with it just how it looks right here. Okay. That's what I do. All right. Let me go back and find the slides. For some reason, I don't know if they closed out or what happened. Oh, there they are. I got to go back to present mode. Okay. All right. Here they are. Okay. So now I'm going to go to Riverside County. Next slide, real quick. All right, so here's what Riverside is looking like. And then I want to go back to San Diego actually and show you a couple zip codes, just so you know that all of the zip codes are not created equal. Riverside County is seeing a deceleration here of 630. And then the new listings, wham, coming down at 575 here. That could, because it's so sudden, this could be just a couple people who priced and it could pop back up, but here's your action index, just almost flushed to last month. So the demand is overall getting lower. It's getting closer to, you know, it means there's not a lot of buyers in the market. Guys, what we saw last year is these meters were up around 90 to 100 all the time. Like it was full on buyers in the market. Here are the market segments, just to give you kind of an idea what's happening in Riverside. We're actually seeing a price increase in the smaller homes. See that? We're seeing some increases happening there. And that would be your 1,371 square footers to your 1,900 in that market. And then anything over 3,000 square feet seems to be on a little bit more of a roller coaster ride. We've got a little flattening out right here. Okay, any questions on that? No? Okay. All right, well, let me see if I can get my slides back up because they keep disappearing on me because of either user error or whatever. I don't know. Okay, next slide. Let me get you guys shared again. It's not there. Tina King, get that slide up there. That's weird. Hello. Hang on. Sorry, guys. All right, so guys, tell me what kind of market are we in? Are we in a declining market? Is that your thoughts? Is that a word that you want to be using right now? Declining?
I don't think it's necessarily a declining market. I think it's just, I think there's a lot of education that needs to happen between the buyers and what they're looking for and getting them past the market's going to crash conversation and the rate conversation.
You do that.
Tina.
Yeah, you do that through data, right? So appreciation is just slowing, guys. And I've mentioned this before, we're in what's called a decelerating market. So appreciation is when obviously a home is showing a price increase, right? And so I'm saying appreciation is slowing. So what does that mean? If you look at this slide right here, year over year, we've seen monthly increases year over year. This is comparing to last year, but you do see that it's popped down just a little bit here at 18.3 as of June. So over last year, right? So it's stair stepping down. So depreciation is when prices decrease, and they are, but home prices overall are decreasing, right? So we're seeing kind of like a tug of war. We're seeing a decrease, but we're also seeing an increase at the same time. So it's just kind of like just kind of floating down a little bit, and it's just normalizing where it needs to settle. Okay. So with that said, I wanted to just say that's what the experts are telling us. It is definitely a deceleration in the market. And it means that we are still seeing an appreciation of properties. They're looking at anywhere from a pace of around 10 to 11% by the end of the year, where we're going to see it decelerate to that point of still having an appreciation of 10 to 11%. If we saw a declining market, we'd see negative numbers. Is that understandable? We would see negative numbers where the market's actually going the other direction, upside down over last year. But we're going to see it level out at about a 10 to 11% based on all the stats. Again, keeping current matters has a ton of stuff, right? Has a ton of stuff in there that you guys can utilize. So there you go. That's where we're at. And our interest rates are stabilizing somewhere in between what? The 5s and the 6s, somewhere in that range. What are you guys seeing out there with the interest rates right now? Same thing? So if, with recessions, the interest rates will go down as well because they want to re-stimulate the market. So we might see all that happening, but you're never going to see, I don't think we're going to see the 2%ers again. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say never, right? All right. So question for you guys, based on our conversations earlier before we started and now, what are you guys doing to help to win in this market? Our appointments are up. Our closings are still down. What is happening? What are you doing to win in this market? And what is happening to where it might, what is happening to your buyers? Like, why are they not closing? Why are they not writing offers? What is going on? And how are you keeping your buyers energized?
I think just learning like more resources in the community available for the buyers. Like I had one the other day, she was looking at like a 1031. So I kind of reached out to the 1031 president over in Solana Beach and was kind of getting some information for her and kind of like trying to connect them so that way she felt more comfortable, looking at particular properties and seeing what her options could be. So just trying to find more resources for buyers if it's needed. So
what was the why behind needing that information?
She was looking at a particular property and she wanted, but then realized that that particular property wasn't going to work out. So I was trying to find other properties that she could potentially buy for the 1031 exchange. Cause I think she wasn't really too sure of like what would qualify under that. So I was trying to connect her with someone who knew that information for her so that way she could feel more assured to continue looking at other available properties.
Okay. Yeah. So you learned that it's possible that they won't take on rentals or anything like that in there. So that's her why, is she's looking for an investment opportunity that she can actually thrive in without an HOA getting involved. So you've got her on track now. Did you find any other properties for her?
Yeah, so right now I'm trying to just find more properties for her that would allow her to do that, because she's having a hard time since she's looking for something within a certain price range that's not 55 and over. But for that particular price range, a lot of homes are 55 and older. But if she is willing to expand to the like condos and townhomes too, then she has more options.
Okay. And how much does she have to work with? What is she working with for her 1031 exchange?
She's working like 510 to 525.
Oh,
Yeah.
And she wants to be in San Diego?
Yeah. So there's not very many options. That's why I was telling her if she's willing to expand her options into these types of properties, then there could be more potential for her, because she's looking for it for her daughter.
Okay. She's going to rent to her daughter. It has to be a rental. It's 1031 exchange. Okay. All right. Well, good. What else are you guys doing? Are you digging deeper with your clients? Are you trying to find their why? Are you meeting with them prior? Are you taking them through a consultative approach? What are some of the things you're doing different than you did last year if you've been on the team or in this business for the last 2 years? What kind of things are you doing differently? Are you just waiting for them to tell you, I found a home and we're ready to go? Are you taking what they say and they say we want to wait for rates to go down? And are you not equipping them with the data? What are you guys doing? And why are buyers canceling? And why are buyers not writing offers? We certainly have the opportunities in front of us.
Like you said, Tina, I don't think they're writing offers right now because they're getting kind of spoiled and they're getting too many choices of properties, and they know that the sellers have to reduce their prices in order to get them sold because they're on the market for so long. So I think they're just kind of trying to take advantage, and they're going to sit back and wait and see what the interest rates do.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. How can we get them energized to continue to move forward besides what they think?
I honestly think we just keep encouraging people to write the offer. We don't know until the offer is written. And, if somebody wants to come in $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 lower, get them writing the offer.
Just get them to write the offer. That's definitely one really good way to get them energized. Just tell them to write it.
I think, we have to become a resource. Like we have to, like you said, Tina, talk to them, find out what their why is. I almost lost a deal just like probably 2 weeks ago, and they were going to go back to renting. And I said, why would you go back to renting? Where is your comfort level? Why would you not buy right now? And they told me, they said the payment's too high. So I got on the phone with Josh and I said, how do we get this payment where they need it to be? Is it doable? And we figured out a program for them. It worked, and we closed them. So I think you have to figure out, why would you keep renting right now if we can get you in for your payment? And then you figure it out. I mean, there's going to be VA assumables coming around. There's going to be FHA assumables coming around with great interest rates. There's other options. I think we just have to look at all of our options.
100%. You always take them back to their why first. Now, I know you said, why don't you want to move forward? But they said the payment's too high. Now, if the payment were something you could work with, you started looking for homes, and you may have more history on them, right? But maybe you don't, right? It's like, what's got you looking at homes in the first place? That's literally a script in our Scripts and Role Play Slack channel. You guys, for those of you who need some great scripts, we want to wait for the rates to go down because our payment's too high. Well, what got you looking at homes in the first place? That's called level shifting. You want to level shift them, get them off of that whole conversation. And then you can take them to the solution, Renee, which you did, but you can take them to that solution at that point and say, well, let's get on the phone with Josh and see what our options are. Because you guys just told me that you need to buy because you're having a baby, whatever, right? And so you want to get them thinking about that versus the numbers versus the surface stuff. You want to get them back to what energized them to even go out and look for homes in the first place. Okay. Because somebody may not want to listen to you just saying, hey, let's call the lender and see what we can do. They may be like just so discouraged at that point that they're like checking out on you. Right. And you maybe set the appointment, you got the appointment, you went and met with them, you worked with them for 5 days, and now they're ghosting you. And you don't know why. So you got to ask them, hey, and notice you haven't been out looking, you haven't been out in the market. What got you looking at homes in the first place? Well, we were going to this, but we started talking about the payment and it's just too much. It's just like these interest rates are stupid, right? Hey, I hear you. Here's what I'd like to say. You're looking for what got you looking? Well, we were looking because, we need to be closer to work or whatever. We only have one car now or whatever. Okay, well, with that said, let's find you that home. Let's take a look and see what all your lending options are. Let's get on the phone with Josh and go over those. So you see how I take them back first to get them reset. And then we take them to that solution place, right? Because some people are just so checked out, they don't even want to talk about the solution because they're just done. It's like, talk to the hand, the face ain't listening, I'm out of here. And you lose them. You're going to lose them, right? So maybe some of that's happening. I don't really know. Some of you, if they say, hey, we're going to wait for prices to go down more, great. Some of you are letting them go just by that, saying, okay, that's fine. When the prices go down, I'll give you a call or whatever, right? So you need this data that we just went over today. Same with you, Renee. Use that Altos report. I get calls. Let me just backtrack and then I'm going to go back on this. I get calls on my listings that are sitting a little bit longer. I know the average market time in those areas. I know it's sleepy for Foxhall. I do. That's my one listing right now. It's sleepy. Yes, maybe we still need to wiggle the price a little bit, but when I look at the data, the price is pretty darn good. It's not great, but it's still ahead of anything that's coming down.
Yeah,
Okay?
there's nothing to compare it to either, really, around
It's
there.
tough. Yeah.
So
So
there's not a whole lot going on that is actually comparable to that one. I think it's priced perfectly for what is around there. I think this weekend was just tough. It was really hot in a holiday weekend.
100%, but it's been sleepy anyway. So here's
Yeah.
the thing about it. I get phone calls from agents and they're like wanting to write 100,000 below.
Okay.
Right? I'm like, write the offer, but it's probably not going to work out. Right. If somebody comes to me like within a 50K range, I'm going to say, yeah, of course, I'll present anything. I just tell them, write it then, but here's the thing I tell them. They try to tell me the market's coming down, Tina, and da. I'm like, okay, well, we're 17 days on the market and I know my stats. I say it's an average of 56 days for that size of home in that market. I'm not in a hurry right now. Keep an eye on it though, but I'm not in a hurry right now. Neither is my seller because we know that it's sleepy and it's going to take up to at least 56 days to get this thing sold. And I watch the pricing like a hawk every single week. And I counsel my seller. So you can write at 100,000 below, but I don't guarantee anything right now. My seller's not wanting to leave by tomorrow. He does want to sell he's very motivated, you guys, but he's not motivated to cut himself off. That maybe that one buyer, all it takes is one, is going to walk in 3 weeks from now and buy that house because the average market time is 56 days. The same for your buyers, you guys. When you're with your buyers and you pull that Altos report, you can look at that house and say, the average market time for this house right now is 50. I'm just going to use 56 days as the example. Okay. It's only been a week and you guys are wanting to write an offer. I'll write an offer wherever you want because you want to get them in the game, like Renee said. But I want you to know, I will write an offer for you at 50,000 below or whatever, right? But what the Altos report is showing me, and I just say what the market's showing us is that the prices in your 1,600 square foot range and the zip code is actually going up. Even though the market time's a little longer, we're seeing an uptick in pricing. So you can get buyers to write better offers because somebody else will write a better offer and beat you, right? You're going to see that happen too. So lead your buyers with the data as well on how to write offers. And if it's one of those Hail Mary times where it's like, you just got to get them re-energized, get them to just write an offer, period. If they're not listening to any of the data points you're giving them, they're not listening to you about the interest rates, they're not listening to you about the Altos reports, just get them to write anything, even if it gets rejected. However, educate first. And I can tell you, I've done this several times in a normal market where I've gotten the buyers to write it full price, at least full price, based on the data that I show them. And I always ask them this question. I always say, what will you do if you don't win this home? Some of them are like, oh my God, we've got to win this home. Others are like, well, we'll just keep looking, which Steve's point, right? But again, you're at least educating them with the data to say, hey, average market time's 56 days. It's been on the market 5. Looks like it's priced right for the market. Here's the comps. Here's the Altos. Here's the report, the Altos report. Here's what we're seeing. Actually, the prices are going up right now in this square footage. And so I would encourage that we at least start at full price. Are you guys okay with that? All right, let's get going. And that's what I would do. And that's what will win you more offers in this market. Because I think we're losing there. I think some of us are allowing, maybe not in Renee's case, but some of us are allowing the clients to dictate, I want to write 100,000 below. I want to write 150,000 below, and I'll write on 5 or 6 properties. And that's a speculator, by the way. It's not somebody who needs and wants a home in that community to go to that amazing school. So I would always take them back to their why. This is a school district you guys really wanted. There's only 2 other homes on the market. We've already seen them. You don't like them. This is a great house. It's priced well. Let me show you the data. Boop, 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 boop. Let's write a full price offer at least. What do you guys think? Okay, great. Right? That's it. So those are just some things you guys can do to get people to write at a better offer and to just write an offer, right? So there's a strategy there. Any questions, concerns, comments? Open floor.
No, I think that's
that helps.
Give us a training. It helps so much.
Yeah, you got to lead these people. Lead them with data, lead them with facts. And then if they still back off after they've talked to you about their why, and there's something else deeper going on. Okay. There's something deeper going on. But I really think you guys will win more. Okay. You will win a lot more when you guys are educating with the data and showing them and putting it in perspective, meeting with the lender, seeing what their options are, taking them back to their why, right? Driving them, showing them what the competition is, that there's really nothing else on the market. This is the best home, right? I think I could have sold that home by now if somebody would have educated their buyer, because I've had 4 people come at me. I was like, just write an offer then, you know? But they're not even educated. They're trying to educate me on how wrong I am to convince me that my listing needs to sell to their buyers for $150,000 less. I don't think so, guys. You know, why would I let that go for my seller unless he told me take an offer at 150 less? Anyway, those are just some examples. I hope that you guys got some good stuff out of today. Anything else, you know, let me know if I can help in any way. I think we're ready to wrap.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Enjoy your day.
Thank you, Tina.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Thank you, Tina.
I wanted to share a little story with you. I don't know if you guys want to listen, but I met a man who knows Tina at that big party. I think his name was Mark.
Yeah.
He's
He's an interesting character.
A life estate investor guy.
Mhm.
Anyway, I'll find his card, but basically he knows Tina, and he said, do you want to be successful in this business? And I was like, yeah. He said, breathe her air, make her bed. I don't know, do whatever Tina does.
That's funny.
If you do that, then you'll make it. So
yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I thought you would like that. You would
stand in your room. Breathe
What was
the air. I was like, can we go stand in your room and just breathe the air?
Yeah,
we all
need to
so whatever she does, you do what she does. You follow Tina, you do whatever Tina says.
Okay, well, good. I hope that you guys do. And I just want nothing more than to see you guys more successful than me. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Get them, guys. Talk to you.
Thanks, Tina. Thanks, Tina.